One slip one for the Australians. Can they come back and head into another final? Gets us underway through Tia Hines. And they've had the best kick restart retention this weekend, the Australian women, and just showing exactly why that is the stat as it currently stands. Soraya Paki met heavily in contact by Lily Dejoux. Trying to make the breakdown messy as they have all weekend, France. And then the hard busting run from Bridget Clark, one of the juniors in the side, but she's done so much and not releasing, so penalty against France.
Yeah, and the mistakes are gonna really be a important factor, especially at this stage of the tournament.
French defense, the wall's got to stay up high and it's got to hold out the attacking prowess of the side. And then the switch play, the dummy, but held on by Tia Hines and caught in contact. Looking for the steal again, not able to get there. Neeson trying to make herself a nuisance at the bottom of that ruck. Collier Duff, captain Bella Nasser. And now the counter ruck is good. Referee happy with that? Yes, she is. And that's brilliant work.
Yes, it is indeed. You know, France is patient. They're coming up in a nice blue wave, and they're contesting every single breakdown. Eventually, something's gonna give.
Something's got to give. It's a blue blanket. Opting to go for that scrum. Strength against strength for both of these sides. France only won 16% of their semi-final berths, so I want to try and get into their first. Only had 5 cup finals, have France, and they get the short arm. Hajel with the tap and go, and she's looking for support. Eventually finds it in Lily Dejoux. Dejoux's had 3 try assists throughout this weekend. Hajel, Christians, cut back on the inside, Neeson. Then through the hands, and Roman Ménager, who scored the winning try in extra time to get France advancing further through this weekend. The strength, the physicality, all being shown, all on display right now. Neeson with the look and go, but she's isolated on the ground, has to let go of the ball, and on it is Faith Nathan. Missed opportunity for France, and they do get the ball back. Christians not on the right mark.
Just rushed it, man. Wow. But you know what? It's all good, because the set piece has been a really solid part of this French defense, or attack rather. And you take a look here. They were doing really well with their threes, traveling in the packs, right? Supporting each other. That one moment of isolation. And look at that.
Definitely not afraid of the grunt work, per se. For the French, they don't mind getting down and dirty. Hajel looking for a stable scrum to feed, eventually told to do so. Hajel gets a loose ball though. Tunkara on a short line, gets tracked back and takes Hines with her, almost over the try line too. Hajel, there's space on the outside, should they go? Neeson says absolutely not, I'll go it myself. And Carla Neeson opens the try scoring for France.
The veteran is so good. She's been so everything for this French squad all weekend long. And you see Australia really driving in the scrum, but it comes to their detriment. Tunkara picks it up and carries about 4 with her, 3 actually. And it just creates holes in the defense for France, for Australia.
Well, seems there's going to be a TMO check.
Maria, I'm going to the French player loses the ball in goal and grounds with the back of her hand, so it is a knock-on, no try.
Oh my. That's a tough call. It looked like downward pressure to me, but I don't know. I'm not the ref, and I'm not the TMO.
Well, we'll stick to our job up here.
It's way above my pay grade.
So, opportunity for Australia to attack from Maddi Levi. She needs one more try to set a new tournament record, and she's gone long. They will attack from in goal, this side. Defense of the French have to stay strong, try and get ball back in hand. Early engagement. Oh, well, they pulled out of the contest, and the tap from Kalia Duff is good. Now they go out wide to Faith Nathan. They've got speedsters on both ends. Do Australia, the fight to ground is good. Still kept inside their own 22 for the time being, though. Sizing up her options. Has to be a high tackle. It is a high tackle, and we spoke to her yesterday. She said that's her job, to gain as many meters as possible. Soraya Paki. Oh, and Bella Nasser also not taking the tap on the mark. They want to play so quickly, but you've got to be accurate.
Yeah, you got to have that composure and level-headedness about yourself. I mean, I can't imagine, it's so incredibly exciting to be down there on the pitch. But all is well.
Well, it's definitely not going to be the all is well 10-minute version, because there's only 1 minute 46 seconds left in the first half. Tia Hines finds the length of Maddi Levi at full stretch. Mia Duff to her captain Bella Nasser. Midfield brilliance that we've seen from Nasser throughout this weekend. Soraya Paki, she made so many meters in contact, had to bring her down, and they do. Deju all involved, and now there's space for Kalia Duff with the fake to the outside, because you never know, and she's gonna get it. She's gonna add her name to another record book. Maddi Levi. We thought France had scored a try on the other end, but Maddi Levi says, nah, I'll take one of my own.
Well, we can talk about the impressiveness of this break by Duff, but the selflessness of her to hand it off so that their hero, Maddi Levi, can break yet another record. Wow, what a game.
Conversion is good, and there is your all-time tournament top try scorer, Maddi Levi. She's only played 25 tournaments, by the way.
Yeah, she's just the next level. I love how driven, we just drive between Maddi Levi and Kayla Bray, just pushing each other. Gotta love it. This sport is just so amazing for that.
Yeah, well, she's only 22 years old, so give her 10 more years. Hines goes high, flies high, but unable to receive Lunoel. Ball is back on in French hands, inside their own 22, trying to find a way to meander their way out of the 22. Hawa Tunkara has been a try-scoring machine for the French. Gong has gone, so we're into extra overtime in this first half. Tunkara, physicality, they had numbers if they were able to get around that breakdown quickly. Sizing up her options, looking for ways to get through, and Neeson opts to just go herself. Back to the left, into the hands of Christians. The flick up, the pass is good, and now the leg stretch coming from Roman Ménager. We've seen her sister accelerate many a time before. Now the ball's gone loose. Falls into Aussie hands.
Wow. Ménager was perfect, right on time. I mean, France is playing without the two support runners with the ball carrier. And it's a little scary, a little 50-50, a little risky, but
Well, you can just see Tia Hines take a look at Tim Walsh in the coaching box, ask what is the call, because the gong has gone. And they opt to take us to half-time. Australia lead the second semi-final 7 points to 0. France 7 points to 0 in the second semi-final. Blackburn Sevens will be keeping an eye to see who they meet in the final. kickoff underway. Receipt is good from the Aussie Sevens, and Bella Nasser with some fancy footwork, and then the long looping pass to Maddi Levi, and she's going to get into her stride and look to extend the record, but loses it in contact. And as that happens, we'll have a chat with Coach Tim Walsh. Tim, it's been a weekend of incredible efforts from your side. You know, what was the message at halftime coming out of this lead?
Well, they're very physical, and every time we're going into the ruck, they're having a crack at it. So we've got to be stronger in our carries and then our support play, but then in our attack being a little bit more movement, a little bit more chain passy there, trying to make them make a decision and turn their hips.
Coach Walsh, I mean, every single player on your squad is so driven, it seems. They're always pushing. How do you manage that? That's a really good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing, and it's led by the lead players, and that girl there, like Faithy, you know, she just takes it to a new level, and they all seem to follow. Like these young girls coming through, they're learning off her, and their will to win.
Yeah, well, it's a good problem to have, Coach. Thank you. We'll let you get back to coaching, and we'll get back to commentary. Thank you for chatting to us.
Pleasure.
Yeah, well, in that, we're going to see Maddi Levi potentially stride away and extend that record. It happened. It was edge-to-edge stuff, width-to-width. And they just keep the ball alive so well, don't the Australians? And that's a second for Maddi Levi in this match.
Yeah, I just can't say enough of great things about her. When Australia's on, they're on. And, you know, since yesterday in that quarterfinals match against the U.S., they've turned up a different notch. They have really turned it on and found their stride. The young players, the older players, that lady right there, Maddi Levi, man, she's unstoppable.
Conversion is good, and that's the all-time series try she's already for this season. So Maddi Levi taking her name to the top of all the different record sheets, and there she flies high to try and get ball back. There is a call for potentially playing in the air, but referee happy that everything was legal. Deju, Neeson, back to Deju, who had to get into position really quickly, looking for support, sizing up her options, but she runs into a yellow wall. Noel, Neeson, ball in two hands and looking to try and exploit some of their speedsters on the outside. Trollier to Tunkara. Tunkara still on her feet. She's so strong, trying to get away, but can't get out of the grips of Kylia Duff. Still going, though. Onto the half-meter line. Neeson just calling all of her troops into play. Noel. No. Looking for the penalty. Referee made a decision quickly not to award it. Christiane at the bottom of that breakdown. We've not seen much from her. Short side they go. They've sucked in two defenders, but the offload came too slow and allowed the reset of the defense. And just as I say that, Leah Collier has found a gaping hole to accelerate into, and she gets France onto the scoreboard for the first time.
Oh my God, yes she does, but she created that hole. It's called change of pace. She stopped, froze the Australian defense in their tracks, and then proceeded to run. Carla Neeson with the nice arc load, and you see her just a little bit of stutter shuffle, and then moves in to the left. Scintillating try.
Speed, pace, power, precision. That didn't go to make the conversion, so Australia lead 14 points to 5. France need a lot more possession in their hands to try and get themselves back in this game, but that's a good start. Still 3 minutes left in this match. Flying high, and receipt is good from Hala. Oh my word, just the flick on, goes backwards. And then Maddi Levi looking to take it up herself, but met in contact. 3 French defenders surrounding her. Realize they have to get out wide because there's another speedster on the other side of the pitch. Has it been stolen is the question. Thought she was good, but then off feet.
Yeah, gotta make the, separation, and also got to keep your shoulders in line with your hips at the very least.
Slowing down just the pace of play a little bit now. The Australians, there's a bit of a breeze that's come into the stadium too, but that's not out. And Colin Neeson again just trying to get everyone in line and on the same page. Fia Lotu using a bit of her fancy footwork, and then the cutback on the inside from Leah Collier. She did it earlier. Is she going to be able to get away again? No, but the offload does stick this time. Hajel looking for support. Now the passes are sticking. The top offloading team this season, or this weekend rather, and then they lose the ball in contact, and just when it gets frantic, someone needs to have composure.
Yeah, wow, what an amazing series of passes and offloads for France. And I think the body of one of the Australian defenders hit the ball, knocked it out of the hands. Second take here. But look at this, like swerving up the little fake, little swerve, offload, running it in. That's good rugby.
Yeah, ball and play time is high when the French do have possession in hand.
Time off. Time off. You get your head down so you can get the fine.
Man,
yeah?
this is such a visceral experience to be here, and the heartbeat of this game is just so intense.
Coach.
Both of these teams want it so badly.
Piper Simons feeds and gets it out to Nathan. Hala, one of the youngsters, she's in a debut tournament this weekend. The 1-2 between Nathan and Maddi Levi. Faith Nathan involved in a lot, not just caught on the sides, but trying to get herself into the game. And then there's going to be green grass that opens up for Bridget Clark. And she's going to stride in as Busson tries to make half a chase. That's just going to extend the lead for Australia. And one might imagine has sealed their ticket to the final.
Australia makes it look like all kinds of trickery, and then they get it into the hands of that young lady, and she's in a foot race with no one.
Conversion is good, so 3 converted tries for Australia, extending their lead to 21 points to 5. France just having no answers at the moment. Up high, has it gone 10? The referee says she's happy. Levi at scrum half. Ruby Nicholas trying to get it into the hands of the other wingers, and Ruby Nicholas on a really hard line, but gets caught, and well caught by Charlie Gouya. Defensive line has to reset this time, and now exactly the same hard line that Ruby Nicholas ran a couple seconds earlier. Maddi Levi shows her class and potentially gets it, and this time gets a hat-trick in the semi-final.
Yes, indeed she does. Maddi Levi, oh my God, just cuts up the center of the field, that vulnerable place on any defense. But she makes it look so easy with the emphatic win.
Well, they did it. They came out, they had a plan, they had to execute. And the Australian women will book the classic final we've come to know.